The future of dump sites in Kenya is grim, thanks to the Sustainable Waste Management Act of 2022 that has transformed the way waste is managed in the country. Before the enactment of the law, Kenya was managing waste using a linear model of waste management. This is now changing to a circular economy, whereby waste materials are retained in the loop or the system for as long as possible so that they are not lost. I visited a material recovery facility at Kenyatta Road Estate off the Kasupa Highway that has adopted a circular economy model of waste management. Here, waste is collected weekly by waste service providers. The waste generators segregate their waste and place it in properly colored labeled coded bags before delivering it to waste service providers. According to the Act, waste generators are supposed to segregate waste at source before it is delivered to waste service providers. Prior to the enactment of the law, this waste would be mixed together, loaded onto a truck, and taken to a dump site. Dump site would be the first stop. Once all the segregated waste is collected, it is delivered to this waste recovery facility located within the estate. According to the Act, county governments are supposed to provide central collection centers for materials that can be recycled. They are also required to establish material recovery facilities for final sorting, segregation, composting, and recycling of waste. Once the waste is delivered in this facility, it goes through the final sorting process.
Hii ndio waste yetu. Ikifika hapa tunaanza kuisort out, tunasort kutoka, tunatoa white paper, tunatoa chakula za soko kama hizi melon, maganda ya mandizi, hizo tunaziweka kando. Tunachukua eggshell, nazo tunaziweka kando. Tunachukua kama karatasi za aluminium, tunaweka kando. Makaratasi ya nylon, nazo tunasort, tunaweka kando. Kwa waste yetu hakuna kitu tunachanganya na ingine. Tukutana na machakula yenye imeiva, nazo tunaweka kando, kwa ndoo nyingine kando. Na halafu tunatoa kama vitu kama bones nazo tuna separate, tunaziweka kwa ndoo kando. Tukikuta kama na chupa za glasses, nazo tuna sort, tunaweka kando. Karatasi za maziwa kama hii tunaita Tetra Pak, tunaiweka kando. Kuna maziwa hii ingine nayo tunaiweka kando. Kila kitu huwa tuna sort, tunaweka kando. Tunabaki na waste ya diapers na pads. Hizo ndizo waste yenye tunapeleka Kang'oki. Vitu hizi zingine zote tunaziweka kando.
According to Dr. Macharia, the ministry has developed a regulation to deal with materials that are not recyclable.
Some of the materials that we recover in the material recovery facilities are such as diapers, for example, are such as shoes, clothes, plastics, glass. In the past, if we did not have a recycler, then it meant that that glass was not recycled, and so nobody used to touch it. It used to be left in the dump site. Now that is going to change, because these producers or importers of these items, they will be required to contribute money to be used for collection of those items and transportation, recycling, and even final disposal of these items. That means those with the material recovery facilities, they will keep these materials, they will collect them, and based on the volumes that they generate, that they give to the recycler, they will be compensated through the extended producer responsibility schemes.
The organic waste is segregated and grounded, and it is then fed to black soldier flies to generate organic manure. The manure is then packed and sold to farmers. The worms produced by the black soldier flies are dried and sold as animal feeds. Residue waste is returned back to the producers for long-term storage or disposal or landfill through the Extended Producer Responsibility Scheme. Setting up waste recovery facility is not without some challenges. As Dr. Macharia explains, there are various licenses that one has to comply with before one can start operating a waste recovery facility.
If one is to start a material recovery facility, there are a lot of government institutions that are involved. So there are a lot of licenses, several licenses that one has to comply with. One of them is environmental impact assessment, which is done through the National Environment Management Authority. So you must look for a lead expert to undertake an environmental impact assessment and then submit it to NEMA and get the EI license. You have to get licensed as a transfer station. That is a second license which you get from NEMA. Thirdly, when you have to be given permission by the county government to operate the material recovery facility. And for that to happen, you will do an application, and one of the things they will like you to do is to comply with the fire safety. There is a license for fire safety. So you have to install the fire equipment, fire extinguishers, and then do even the fire alarms, and then you get a license for that. And then fourthly, then the county government then licenses you to have a sorting station, a waste separation station. So that is also another license. So you see, you have allowed 4 sets of licenses which you must display on your facility. Of course, some are annual, some are one-off, but of course they cost money. Actually, the whole journey may cost you like 300,000 to do that.
Several lessons can be learned from this material recovery facility. 1. Waste is a resource and should be segregated at the source instead of taking it to dump sites. 2. It is possible to manage waste through circular economy model. In so doing, we shall ensure that materials are recovered and taken back to the system. 3. Besides creating jobs, material recovery facilities can generate various streams of income through selling of products generated from the waste. Only time will tell whether adoption of circular economy in waste management is the beginning of the death of dump sites in Kenya. I am Timothy Gachanga.